Josh, I'm gonna be upfront with what I'm gonna say because you know, as much as I'd like to call people stupid, generally speaking, they aren't stupid when it comes to being able to spot out certain things. If someone's being disingenuous, we all know. I've seen it with other content creators online. I'm like, do they really think we don't see what they're doing here? And that space is a mess right now. Controversy after controversy is just whatever. Entertaining to watch, but not to be in, honestly. Hell, they had that whole Cinder drama, wasn't it? She was a fake ass bitch. But that's what I'm talking about. Eventually, that shit just comes to light. Why am I making this channel? Well, I've made it. Why do I want to make content? I'm tired, bro. You have to jump through so many hoops to get somewhere in this life. And it was like, the system is fine. I don't have a problem with the system. But let's not act like it's the same system that existed back then. You go to school, you go secondary school, well, in the UK at least, you go secondary school, you go to college or sixth form, maybe university after that, you get your diploma, and then you can get a job. And you can get yourself a husband or wife, get yourself some kids, get yourself a dog maybe, get yourself a house, and live a life of fulfillment. You're fulfilled, you're content for the rest of your days. It ain't that simple anymore. Like, I have a part-time job and I'm lucky. With that shit, like, I know I'm lucky because I have two friends already, at least, actually three. The third one isn't really even looking for a job, so forget it. But two of them are looking for a job, and I think they're in a better position than I am in terms of what they're able to do and how they handle themselves. But they still haven't found jobs yet. It's unfortunate, but that's just how things are. Like, even if you leave school with A's and shit, like, it doesn't seem to really matter to anyone when you roll up to Tesco or another corner shop or some other franchise. Like, they don't really care, especially if it's labor intensive. What you learned isn't really necessary for that space. Yeah, and then even when you want to go beyond there, I'm a lazy person, generally speaking. I just want to be able to do what I enjoy and not worry about other type of worldly problems. But there are many worldly problems. Speaking of those worldly problems, I want to talk about those as well. This society is governed mostly by emotion. And honestly, sometimes you feel like you're the one who's in the wrong. You feel like you're crazy because you can think in this society that's governed by emotion. If someone's in their feelings about something and you provide them a reasonable solution, they're giving you the look like, you're supposed to be my yes man. You're not supposed to be telling me reason. No, I don't say that. But the overall attitude is you're supposed to be the yes man. Even if someone's being stupid, they want you to subscribe to their beliefs for that moment and just reaffirm their existing views. Sometimes you can do that. Oftentimes, you can't. And in my family, I'm the guy who thinks more reasonably than emotionally. For example, my sister wanted to know know some word. She didn't know what it meant, so I said, just ask ChatGPT or something. She said, you can't trust AI. And I was thinking, oh no. I'm not gonna pretend that there aren't issues and concerns to raise with AI, but hers weren't it. What reasons was I given about that? They're trying to steal my voice. Huh? What? Come again? They're trying to steal my voice? Okay, so it isn't about stealing your data or anything like that. It's about your voice. Why would they want your voice though? They already have voices for the... I feel like just with that though, you know, it's not a reasoned response. It's an emotional pushback because AI is new. Well, when I say new, it's not new. Like, it's been around for a bit, but like, it's still recent enough that people are wary about it. And it's not entirely unreasonable to be wary about it, but this is the example I'm using to kind of just show the thinking that goes into many forms of rejection, And again, if you're surrounded by those types of people, you can be made to feel alienated, isolated, whatever. And sometimes gaslit into believing you're in the wrong because you're able to think. Trust me, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Your mind just works a bit different. Reason is relatively recent in humans because if you want to look at evolution, the prefrontal cortex, how it exists now versus things like the limbic system and the primitive part of the brain, it's just biology. Humans are more wired towards this type of shit, but some of us are able to rise above it. I want to express things that I've noticed from the perspective of the reasonable man. It's sometimes a curse to be living in this society because of how other people are in comparison to you, the majority. But we just gotta make do with what we got. And so I hope to be the voice for those people who are like-minded, but not just that. I don't want to just be that another political streamer who gets into controversy and stuff. That's going to be inevitable down the line because I think I'm going to have opinions that people go, oh no. And this trend with calling people alt-right Nazis, why? Do you know what a Nazi is? Do you know what they were doing in Germany all those years ago? If you witnessed it yourself, you would not be calling Donald Trump. I'm not a Trump, so I'm a UK citizen, bro. I don't give a fuck what he's doing around the world. But I'm not going to be disingenuous and act like he's a Nazi or Elon Musk or anyone that I don't like, No, there's no need for that shit. There's no need for that shit. But this is what I'm talking about, the emotional thinking. They're saying this from a place of emotion. They're not thinking about what they're talking about, and they end up looking like idiots to the well-minded, well-thought-out people. And the thing is, it isn't the majority who are like this, the ones who on Twitter. It seems like the majority because they're the voices that you're hearing. They're in your recommended. They're the ones you hear about. But it's just amplification through social media and stuff. The thing is, the reasonable people aren't even bothering to leave comments because they've got better things to do with their time. So we're not entirely fucked, but at the same time, we've got people above us who keep getting into conflicts and stuff. It's complicated. But yeah, we're not as fucked as you might think we are. But again, the other things I want to do on this channel is just talk about things I'm interested in. Stories. I love stories. I absolutely love them. And my favorite anime are Gurren Lagann, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Re:Zero, Fate. Don't ask about which one. Generally speaking, it's yes. And then Eminence in the Shadow. They have magnificent stories behind them. I want to talk about other anime and other forms of stories that I really loved. Honestly, I don't watch a lot of films nowadays. They're trash, most of them. There's some good ones that come out, but a lot of them have been trash. I watch more anime than I do anything else. I read light novels and stuff like that. I also read some manhwa as well. And I just want to be able to talk about what I really enjoyed about these stories and things I thought they could do better. Not just with anime though. A lot of games have been coming out that tell really good stories as well. Surprisingly, there have been some gacha games that tell good stories and other ones that I thought told good stories that when I actually looked deeper beyond my emotional bias, they were pretty shit. Oh well, they could have been better if they did this and that. But I'll save that for when I actually delve into the nitty gritty. I'm definitely going to be all over the place because this is, well, I've got to start somewhere. This is my first time doing this type of shit. But as I go along, I hope to organize myself better and talk with more clarity, not have as many takes for a video as I did this one. You have no idea how many times I redid this, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So yeah, in the future, when I get more money saved up, I definitely want to switch to gaming content so I can also just play games, not just talk about the stories, but just enjoy the game. Because I really want to enjoy more games than the ones I've been enjoying. Like for now, I'm playing Wuthering Waves at the moment. Yeah, I can get a PC set up and start enjoying those things. If there's gonna be a guideline, or I guess, I don't know, moral code, principles, whatever you want to call it, I'm gonna live by or move by on this channel, it's for one, not letting metrics misguide me. It's so weird how I see so many different content creators start off from a place of just innocent fun. They really just wanted to enjoy making content, but somehow they, like, months go by, years go by, and the numbers go up, but so does their attitude, so does their ego. Like, it isn't just the numbers, it's everything else, and usually it's negative. I personally don't really grasp the notion of thinking you're better than everybody else because more people are looking at you. There's just a few more pairs of eyes, you know? Well, a few million pairs of eyes, sure, but I'm not someone that likes that type of attention. It's weird. Like, I'm doing this on a public platform. People are going to see it. Many people will. But for the most of my life, I've avoided the limelight. I'm not a very social person, in reality. It takes me time to get to know people and that kind of shit. So the notion of becoming clout hungry, I just never really understood it. Not just other content creators, but people who are on TikTok and stuff, you know? People who want to make it big. Someone like Jack Doherty, or whatever the fuck his name is. I think I said it right, so it doesn't matter, but him. There's so many ways to go about doing something. I don't know why you have to choose the most controversial one. Why do you have to be a piece of shit to people? To you know? So many people are likable and get clout without doing that shit, but forget that. There's that. Metrics, first of all, don't dictate my worth. Metrics also will not warp my perception of reality because, yeah. So, never lose sight of why I'm doing this. I want to just enjoy my life. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 and be miserable and look back and say, I should have done this earlier. You know, because I could have done the same thing, but 20 years later, maybe gotten successful, but then be regretful of the fact that I didn't do it earlier. I've seen many people content creators that I watch that wish they did something earlier. And I'm like, let me not be like them and do it earlier. I'm 20 years old. I've still got a few decades of my life left. Let's start. Secondly, I already operate by this, but I'm saying it now. Emotions, I'm going to try and filter that as much as possible. I'm more like, not be totally devoid of it, but make it clear where I stand personally and make it clear what I know objectively to be true. There's something going on. I'll have my own opinion. I might or might not state it depending on that circumstance. And then I'll just say the situation for what it is. If you don't like that, hey. Again, can't please everybody. This isn't the place for you if you want to be catered to, in a sense. I'm not just gonna say what you want me to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say. And those who watch me are probably here because I just happen to have the same opinion as them. You know, I don't want that parasocial shit, but... And, well, I'm gonna create because I'm a creator and everything else just follows, you know? I don't have a set plan. I'm just gonna do what I want to do and see what becomes of it, you know? I guess the most important one is about the metric shit. I really don't like that whole warped perception of reality thing. I never understood it, so I doubt it's gonna happen, but hey, you never know what happens. If that does happen, if I am acting out, I'm not infallible. Call me out. Please, call me out. I don't want to ever make it to a point where I've dug myself so deep in a hole that I psychologically just feel like I have to dig myself deeper. I don't want to do that. I want to back out, apologize for what I'm saying, and keep it pushing. So yeah, that really is it.